in the mountain ranges of Badekwidon and Chongbad. The greatest being to have ever graced humanity with his touch was born. His birth had changed winter into spring, illuminated a star above all while under a double rainbow. This miraculous birth of a demigod of the swords happened under Mount Paktu, the mythical origins of the Korean people, or at least that is what North Korea officially claims. Historians and experts agree that Kim Jong-il was realistically born in Batskaye, Russia, which is located in Siberia. Historians back up this claim with the fact that Soviet records showed Kim Jong-il's birth name was originally Yuri Ivanovich Kim. Not much is actually known about the reclusive beginnings of Kim Jong-il. However, there is some speculation with available evidence and intelligence from foreign countries that can help stitch together pieces of his early life. According to official North Korean reports, Kim Jong-il completed his education in Pyongyang, North Korea. However, many foreign academics agree that Kim Jong-il had actually completed his education in the People's Republic of China during the 1950s to stay safe from the Korean War. After Kim Jong-il had completed his pilot's training in East Germany for 2 years, he had graduated from Kim Il-sung University and soon became the secretary for his father in the Korean Workers' Party.
During a warm afternoon in the Pyongyang capital, the government had announced to all workers and citizens of North Korea an important announcement that would mark an end to one reign of terror and open up the doors to another. After more than 45 years in power, Kim Il-sung was announced to have passed away from a heart attack on July 9, 1994, leaving the throne to his successor, his son, Kim Jong-il. North Korea had issued a mourning period of 10 days with the cancellation of all music and entertainment, along with the holding of memorial services in all of the cities and provinces across the country. While the artillery of Pyongyang fired and vehicles whistled and honked all in unison to honor their fallen comrade, Kim Jong-il was busy consolidating his power. Kim Jong-il did not instantly become general or grand marshal of North Korea, but rather consolidated his power over a span of a few years up until 1997, when Kim Jong-il had officially become the president of the North Korean Workers' Party. Later, he had even written out the post of a president in the North Korean constitution. This, however, was only the beginning of Kim Jong-il's reign in North Korea. Kim Jong-il's first move after becoming the leader of North Korea was to establish his military-first policy, in which they prioritized pouring resources into the military. On the public side of his rule, Kim Jong-il had built upon the mystique of his cult of personality left behind by his father. There were many interesting claims put in by the leader's propaganda team, and I'll just say a few of the more interesting claims on the list. Official records say that Kim Jong-il learned to walk and talk by 10 weeks old. Another claims that when Kim Jong-il picked up a golf club for the first time in his life, he had shot a 38 under par round on North Korea's only golf course, including 11 holes in one. After the confirmation of his 17 bodyguards who'd watched him play, Kim Jong-il decided to retire from the sport forever. His biography further claims that he had written over 1,500 books over the span of 3 years, along with 6 operas, which, according to him, was better than any other in the history of music. Kim Jong-il's fashion had been reported to become a global phenomenon, in which they claim the whole world has started to wear Kim's iconic jumpsuit and sunglasses to imitate him. Last but not least, our god being was said to have such a holy figure that he had never defecated in his whole life. No comment on that specific claim. Outside of having to keep his reputation to a godlike status, Kim Jong-il was left with a country his father had plunged into an economic crisis and famine. To combat this issue, Kim sought to improve ties with the few countries while trying to uphold the nation's policy in isolationism. During the 1990s, Kim Jong-il had agreed to follow the agreed framework proposed by the United States in which he would dismantle North Korea's nuclear program in exchange for 2 nuclear power plants that would produce electricity for the country. Furthermore, the United States had agreed to cease its sanctions on North Korea in exchange for Kim Jong-il to cease long-range missile testing. Of course, this action would have benefited North Korea during its struggles with famine and its economy, thus Kim Jong-il agreed. After attending a summit with South Korean leader in the year 2000, Kim Jong-il had furthermore made ties with South Korea, Italy, and Australia. Although it seemed that North Korea was making great strides towards a reunified Korea with the lessening of tensions, all that greatly changed in 2002 when North Korea had failed to meet its side of the agreement. With North Korea's nuclear status being a constant threat to the rest of the world, Kim Jong-il had used it as leverage to negotiate and secure aid, while simultaneously acting as a deterrent to South Korea. Many incidents, such as the torpedoing of the South Korean warship Cheonan and the skirmish between both sides, which resulted in the death of 2 South Korean Marines, had brought both nations to the brink of war, thus leaving North Korea in a bad state of affairs with the majority of the world.
Tonight, an 11-day period of mourning is underway for Kim Jong-il, the dictator who died Saturday. And we were struck by images from inside the Hermit Kingdom.
With the rising suspicion due to the lack of public appearances of Kim Jong-il, it was announced on December 19, 2011, that their dear leader had passed away due to a heart attack on a train. An immediate order of a day of remembrance was issued to the North Korean people and was expected to be followed strictly with a genuine act of sorrow and mourning for their fallen leader. If any person was deemed to be insincere about the mourning, the government would have sent them to labor camps. Kim Jong-il had left a legacy very similar to his father, giving the reins of the country to his successor, his son Kim Jong-un. Much of the legacy Kim Jong-il had left of the people was that of a merciless and ruthless rule. One of the biggest reasons many of the Kims kept their consolidation in power was through the violent oppression of any politician, officer, or civilian, regardless of them being guilty or not, such as the extensive use of labor camps and even the use of starving dogs or anti-aircraft guns to execute any of his rivals, including his own family. Phil Robertson best summarizes Kim Jong-il's legacy through this specific quote. Kim Il-sung's rule was based on the ruthless rights abuses, including frequent use of enforced disappearance and deadly prison camps, to inflict fear and repress any voices that challenged his rule. The man is dead, but his brainwashing and horrific abuses live on. Kim Jong-un is following right along in his grandfather's footsteps. As North Korea rests on Kim Jong-un, the country still suffers from strained relations with the rest of the world. Only time will tell whether or not Korea will reunify with South Korea. Thank you for watching.